Hey there, I'm Mel Abraham, the author of The Entrepreneur Solution and the founder of Business Breakthrough Academy, where we teach you how to design a business and create a life of financial freedom and peace of mind. And I happen to be out here in Sydney. I just finished a 4-day program here in Sydney. Some amazing entrepreneurs here in Sydney, some great people. I love this country, love this island, love this city. And I thought it was kind of interesting to be here in Sydney, in front of the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which is one of the most iconic bridges in the world. I think it's recognized all around the world, and just the thought of what that bridge signifies and what a bridge in general is all about. And you think about it just in its simplest form. A bridge is something that allows you to go from point A to point B in the quickest, easiest way possible. But what the bridge is really trying to do is allow you to navigate through the possible hazards, the pitfalls, the problems. What's below the bridge in this case happens to be some waters that can get kind of rough at times, and it could be a canyon, it could be rocks, and so it is, I think, in business. And when we talk about business breakthroughs and trying to build an entrepreneurial path, is to understand that we all need bridges, and those bridges come in many forms. It could be a mentor, it could be a training program. I know for me, I wouldn't have had the success that I've had if it wasn't for some of the great mentors that have been in my life and are still in my life. And I kind of look at things in a different light, in the sense that, to me, a mentor has walked the path already. They've been down the road, they understand the pitfalls, they understand where the potholes are, so they know where the hazards are, and they can navigate, they can create the bridge so you don't have to step, you don't have to swim the rapids, you don't have to trip and fall, nor do you have to have the challenges that maybe they experienced. And so one of the questions is that, do you have a mentor? And has that mentor traveled the journey that you're looking to travel? Do they have the experience that they can bring to bear on the challenges that you might be dealing with? The other thing to think about when you're deciding who you want to have as a mentor is to understand whether they have the same values as you. Do they understand your vision? For me, when I'm mentoring entrepreneurs and businesses, I need to really understand their vision, and I need to believe in their mission. I need to understand their mission and see their vision and understand that we are in alignment with their values. And I think that if you're looking for a mentor, that's the same thing you want to look at, is say, are they living a life that is consistent in the ideals and the values and the vision that I have for my life? Because if they're not, then they're bringing that experience or that incongruency into your life, into the things that they're bringing into your life. And maybe what happens in that process is that you may get some good advice, but maybe not necessarily down the path that you want to go. So for me, when I'm looking at a mentor, I want to make sure that they understand my vision, that they have a similar set of values, that they are accessible to me in the sense of if I have questions, if I have challenges, that I can get to them and get those things answered. But not only accessible from a time standpoint, but accessible emotionally, to be able to have frank conversations and transparent conversations at a deep level, so you can feel safe and not necessarily nurtured. Because trust me, I know in times when I'm mentoring folks, I need to be direct, and sometimes it comes across as blunt, but it is always with a caring heart. It is always with the best intentions in mind. It is always for their perspective and their vision in place. And it's never to be demeaning. But I want a mentor that is accessible. And I also want a mentor that's willing to be straight with me and to shoot me straight and say, hey, no, I think you're making a big mistake here, or that was great, and that they're not going to just sugarcoat it and be a yes person in my life and just saying, yeah, I'll cheer you no matter what you're doing, but to be willing to stand up and say no, I think that was a mistake, or we ought to do this differently, or you ought to think about it this way, and at least give me some differing perspectives, and that they're not afraid to share those perspectives with me. And so if you look at some of the great entrepreneurs of our time, whether it's the Tony Hsiehs of the world, the Jeff Bezos of the world, all of them have had mentors, all of them have had bridges, all of them have had people that have helped them navigate the rapids, to help them avoid the challenges, to help them avoid, drowning in a sea of confusion and stress and overwhelm, which can happen with entrepreneurs on a regular basis. And so think about where you want to be in the next 12 months. And then think about where you want to be in the next 5 years. And then ask yourself, do you have the right people in your life to help you get there? And if not, who do you need? Who could it be? What skills should they have? What experience should they have? And then go out and reach out and try to find those mentors. And when you find a mentor, and some people say, well, how do I get someone to mentor me? Why would they even help me? And great. Sometimes you're going to have to pay the mentor. Some mentors will mentor without payment. Others, you might just want to serve them. For instance, one of the greatest connectors of our time happens to be Joe Polish, a friend of mine, and he always comes from a place of service. And I think that if you look at your mentors and you get a chance to understand who they are, the ones that you want to have as mentors, who they are, what they stand for, what's important to them in their lives, and you can serve them at that level, then you're coming from a place of service, and they're a lot more likely to mentor you in that context. But at the same time, I've got mentors. I'm in masterminds and other mentoring groups that I pay for, and they are worth every penny when you're in the right group with the right group of people, because they're going to raise your standard, they're going to raise your level, they're going to get you to see things that you don't see because you're staring in the mirror, and they get a chance to see everything around you, and they're going to give you a different perspective. So those are the things I would do if you start trying to find someone as a mentor, and using the mentors to help you accelerate and bypass some of the accelerate your success and bypass some of the potential problems that you may have. So I hope this serves you to maybe understand a little bit more of my thought process about getting help and creating bridges in your life. And this is not the only bridge. Like I said, mentoring is just one. There's training, and there's education, and there's reading, and there's all kinds of other bridges, but by far the mentoring one is the one that will accelerate you the fastest to your vision, to your goals, to your destination, to your success as you go through, because they've been there and they know that. So take the time. I'd love to see and hear from you. If you've got questions about the kinds of mentors you're looking for, the kinds of things to look for, post a comment. Feel free and ask me questions. I would love to have that dialogue with you. And if you have great mentors, acknowledge them. Say thank you to them, and tell me who your mentors are and what you're looking for. So hope this serves you. Look forward to talking to you on the next video. And until we get a chance to chat again, may your vision be grand, your journey epic, and your legacy significant. See you later from down under. Cheers. Bye.